Are you saying you're not ready? I would do a countdown, but I already hit record. We're a good 20 seconds in.
It's fine.
You're welcome. You were the intro that everyone wanted to see.
It's not like I don't make it obvious that I'm eating and like, enjoying my whatever on screen.
Of
Like
course.
it's cheese puffs, if anyone was curious. It's the Great Value cheese puffs.
Nice,
Baked
nice.
cheese. Yes. A
Ah.
family size pack.
Is that the are they by chance related to the cat cheese face that we named last time?
They might be.
Cheese puff.
It might be what cheese face, like I don't know, it's like his army or something.
The cheese puffs. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of
Turn
weird warrior
on
names,
like another.
I'm not a big fan of in Broken Code. There's like a whole family of cats they mention, and their names are like pancakes and eggs. And I think bacon.
What?
Like they're kitty pets kind of thing. But like, just imagine a name being eggs. Would you get a cat and name it eggs? I can deal with pancakes. It just sounds really weird here. Warriors like we have to go find pancakes, kind of thing. But just quick vent. It unlike Fuzzball Star, we're never gonna have Pancake Star or Egg Star.
In all fairness, there was a cat named Dipstick that I used to call Dip.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I suppose. I mean, I feel like most of my cats, they could have warrior names. Roswell Star.
No. Although he did deserve he's elevated beyond the whole leader thing. He's just like straight Starclan.
He kind of reminds me of like Tall Star, where just like that noble, calming presence, like the grandpa that every cat needs.
Roswell?
Yes, my
No.
hairless cat who sent snot everywhere. He was a
I
good
was gonna say
grandpa.
he like had projectile snot rockets, okay? Like no.
Yeah, growing up, it was a daily household chore of going around with a magic eraser and cleaning his snot off the walls. Ah, good man. But yeah, like, because we used to foster kittens all the time, and he loved them. He would go up and, like, groom them and carry them around. He was so gentle with them, which is why we called him a grandpa. He just wanted to always see the kittens. He would just sit there, like, on the couch, like, next to where we had them, and just watch them. Like, he was just so
Oh.
protective. Mm-hmm.
One of the kittens you were fostering gave me like I don't know, like PTSD. Mm, that cat was so mean.
One of the ones I was fostering?
It was one of like it was three. It was the only male, and he had two
Uh,
sisters. So he was just so mean.
you sure it wasn't two males
It
and a
was an
female?
orange cat.
Because we had two orange and a brown one.
Oh, I thought the other one was a
Because it
female.
was Roscoe, Sabrina, and Nacho.
Yeah.
I think Nacho
Hmm.
was kind of a jerk. He was like the runt of the
Yes.
litter, and he had a um short tail syndrome. Let's put it that way, because he was really tiny and he liked to beat up on the other ones, even though they could sit on him.
He beat up on everyone and everything.
He was a good man.
So mean.
Ah, Nacho. Nacho Star, another cheese related one. What is happening? Look what you've started. But speaking of
Cheese.
starting, I closed my book. What page are
Good
we
job.
on? Oh, did I really
Don't
open
ask
on the right
me.
page? I did. Okay. Perfect.
Oh wow.
So, we're on chapter 12 now, because I didn't do the intro. Welcome back, guys, to, we're now on chapter 12 of Into the Wild. And I don't want to accidentally hit stop recording like I did
I
last
love
time.
how this is starting to condense itself. It's no longer the prophecy begins
Oh
into the
yeah, the prophecy begins Into the Wild. Most people know Into the Wild. It's when we get to like fading echoes and sunset and tall spires. I don't know. Like I believe that was a book. I don't know what half of them are. I could probably do through the new prophecy, like tell you their titles in order. After that, no idea. I know the third
I
one
could tell you
begins
what
with the
arc it
sight.
belongs to up through the power of 3, I think.
I might be
I
able to
think.
tell you the Power 3 arc, but after that, no idea.
Yeah.
Especially since I'm now listening to their audiobooks and not reading them. So I don't have the physical copy. It makes it a lot harder.
I'll do it to you.
Yeah. But I have some information for you.
Some information for me.
Yes. So, as I understand, you have not read Dawn of the Clans.
Correct.
So, four trees. To give a not make it too complicated, pretty much when the tribe cats came down to live in the forest, there are two brothers, Greywing and Clear Sky. And Clear Sky kind of goes a little power crazy, just a tiny bit. He's still a good guy at heart. But Greywing decides, okay, let's have a peaceful meeting. We're going to all meet together and just discuss all the problems we have rather than fighting and doing all this. Let's just talk it out, kind of thing. So they meet at a place that has not been claimed by any of the groups of rogues yet, which is this clearing surrounded by these four tall oaks. So when they get there, Greywing's looking around and he's like, okay, this will make a good area. No one's claimed this yet. It's neutral. And in the center, there is this rock that is supposed to be kind of looks like a jagged tooth. And he's like, wow, this might remind Clear Sky of when we were kids and we were playing in the jagged peaks of the mountains, kind of thing. So he was like, well, we'll stand up here and talk. Maybe this will help him see a reason. He doesn't see a reason. There is a massive battle. Clear Sky brings like almost his entire clan versus Greywing and his like two people with him, but they're hiding up on the rock, whereas Clear Sky's cats are like on the ground, so they can't get to them. But there's a massive battle. Tons of cats die. Cats that grew up with them, kind of thing, like rogues and like the other tribe cats who came down with them. And Clear Sky ends up killing Rainswept Flower, I believe her name is, who was a tribe cat also. And after the battle breaks apart, not necessarily because anyone won, but because everyone's just exhausted from fighting, all of the dead cats, their spirits, come back up and they form the first cats of Starclan. It's the first time they see these spectral ghost cats kind of thing. So that's Starclan. And because of how bad this battle was, they decided this land is now like neutral territory. We're not gonna fight here anymore, kind of thing. And that's how it became the place where all the clans meet. And they even bury all the cats that died there. So all those cats who died are still buried at Four Trees.
Sure, fine.
Mm-hmm. Any questions?
Nope.
There's a lot more to it. I'm trying to simplify it as much as possible. So, yeah.
It sounds pretty simple.
Yeah,
I understood it.
but as I was writing
Kind of.
this to explain it, it got me thinking. A big thing that we learned during the Broken Code arc is that the StarClan can't exist without the Dark Forest, and vice versa. They need each other to create balance, kind of thing.
Survive.
Like the light in the void from from Minecraft, from World of Warcraft, kind of thing. So
Yes, Minecraft.
yes, they both need to be there. So that got me thinking. That would mean that as soon as these StarClan cats are formed, the Dark Forest should have also been formed, correct? Even though none of the cats there are evil per se that died. because they all went to Starclan. All of those, you see them all sparkly and pretty, kind of thing. But if one can't exist without the other, there would have had to have been the Dark Force forming then also. Which then got me thinking even more. I know a lot of people hate Clear Sky and they think he should have been the founder of the Dark Forest because he's the first evil cat, blah blah blah. I don't really think of the Dark Forest as a per se evil place. It almost seems more like a purgatory, the way it's described, but no one's forgiven there, kind of thing. Like it should be something where they have a chance to redeem themselves, which is a big thing they go over in the Broken Code. Like cats there who fight along StarClan and feel general like legit remorse about what they did. So I'm almost wondering what if the Dark Forest was formed as almost like a purgatory for Clear Sky in case he had not redeemed himself. So that way it could have been for him, but he made the choice to be better. Because then he would have still technically been the founder of the Dark Forest. Just food for thought.
Hmm.
It's a whole thing I'll have to
That's
go
a
into,
lot
but
to
a
read.
lot of the cats down there almost seem like they like we mentioned in the last video, Juniper Claw, he shouldn't be there. He has redeemed himself. Snowtuft, who decides to fight alongside the clan cats and sacrifices himself, his own existence, to save Shadowsight, or the other ones who fight along the Starclan cats and everything, they were like they made up for what they did. It almost feels like if you ever seen Lucifer, the way they describe he double hockey sticks at the end is that the people are there until they can accept what they did wrong and then they can go on to heaven, kind of thing. And I like to think that is what the Dark Force is supposed to be, somewhere for them to look in on themselves, realize what they did wrong, and when they accept that they were wrong, then they should be allowed to go to Starkland.
I like Husband Hotel.
Never heard of it. Book, movies, a TV show.
It's a TV show.
Okay, yeah, never seen it, but yeah, it's
Yeah. Vivzy Pop's a pretty big creator on YouTube.
interesting. Never even heard of it. But yeah,
I think
just
that show's right up your alley, actually.
fair enough. It's just like the more I thought about it, the more I feel like it makes sense. Like even the living cats are tell Starkland they're wrong for how they do things. And like
I
Firestar's
think,
like tries to justify where he's like, we do our best kind of thing, but like, we're not perfect and like exactly. So why but like they're talking about like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter what these cats did after they died. They were bad when they were alive. Like, so what? Like, are you saying no cat has ever like been bad alive? Kind of like even Leafpool says she had to pretty much like stand before like a judge kind of thing and defend herself because she almost was sent to the Dark Forest.
yeah.
It's just like a whole thing where I'm
Sad
like,
thing is, the people that would have sent her to the Dark Forest were the same people that did basically the same things.
yeah, like,
Anyways, I have a whole
ugh.
different argument for why she probably should have gone.
Well,
But we
my
will
other
get there.
mini theory about it, which I think is at this point might be more canon than theory. Apparently, not every cat is associated with the judgment to send a cat to StarClan or the Dark Forest. So I'm assuming the cats that were affected by that cat are the ones who decide, kind of thing. Like Thunder Clan and Shadow Clan, probably River Clan would have decided for Tiger Star, kind of thing, but not Wind Clan because it had nothing to do with him. Or for Broken, or trying to think like the leaders of certain clans decide, not necessarily every single cat. So when it comes to Juniper Claw, who I keep saying I don't think should be there, I think he's there unfortunately because that involves Sky Clan and Shadow Clan. And I'm willing to bet Clear Sky would have been avid about him going, which is why he went. I think it's because of Clear Sky, not because
It's
of Shadow
interesting.
Clan. But yeah, it's just another thought out there that like it's the clans that the clan you belong to and the clan that suffered because of your existence should be the ones who judge. Or I'm assuming that's how they do it. That would explain why there's only one that we know of Sky Clan cat that's in the Dark Forest too. But because Clear Sky is going to be very avid for his cats. Not necessarily he's not necessarily the fairest cat out there. Yeah, that's it's been my
I feel like most
15-minute
leaders aren't
rant
exactly
about
fair.
my
Anyway,
thoughts. It's gonna be a legit like theory video where I like go into detail because I have a lot of details. I've been thinking about this for like the last 2 days, but it's too much to fit in here without like having it all written down.
that's fair. I mean, it's definitely. I feel like every time, like, what? I can't even remember the first series where you just like, hey, like this, and hey, like this, and did you notice this, and did you notice that, and like, oh, like this harkens all the way back like 5 books into like this thing, and it's like my brain doesn't work like this.
Yeah, I tend to remember very tiny little details that most people would not remember.
That's not
Yeah.
a bad thing. It makes for great theory.
It
I'm
drives me
always
crazy most
interested.
of the time though, because I'll be like, especially since there's what 80 warrior books out there. I'm like, hold up. In some book, I think around this time this happened, and trying to figure out which one it was is insane.
You just need like a timeline going like just fill up like every wall in that room with like like hieroglyphic timeline
I don't
basically.
think this
Yeah.
room's big enough because we'd have to have a timeline per clan.
You can have a timeline overall.
Real quick, your I was gonna say your camera went out of focus. There you go. I mean, yeah, but like that would be those like with the string connecting the red string. Yeah, that's kind of how my brain works when it comes to these things. But as for my second note I have written on here, Quiet Rain, who is the mother of Grey Wing and Clear Sky, is buried at Four Trees. I thought at first because they say that the ground was frozen, so they find a big rock and they prop it, they lift it so they could put her body in that kind of thing because they can't dig to bury her. And at first, I was trying to figure out if it was the Great Rock or whatever they call it, but they say it's on like the edge of the clearing, not in the center, so it's not. But because they arrive from Shadow Clan, and then they say they cross the clearing to this rock, that means that she's buried near River and Wind Clan, which I don't. I had to look at the exact boundaries it was before, but Greywing is a Wind Clan cat, and if it wasn't River Clan there, but it was actually Sky Clan based on the old maps, that would mean she was buried between Sky Clan and Wind Clan, where her two kits are. Well,
Oh.
besides Jagged Peak, but everyone forgets about him. That's her other son. But I don't like Jagged Peak. I don't talk about him. Clear Sky's a better character than Jagged Peak. Just saying. I'm going
Tell us
to
how
get
you really feel.
I'm going to get destroyed for saying that. But yeah.
It's fine.
Um,
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion,
do you have
even
any
if they're wrong.
notes yet? My opinions are never wrong. What do you mean? Just saying, you know that
Yeah, okay.
poll we did about hey, whose death is sadder, Cinderpelt or Feathertail? It ended up having 11 votes for Cinderpelt and 0 for Feathertail.
I also think in the original messages, I clarified why I was pretty sure when you put it to a vote, people were going to say Cinderpelt.
I'm just saying there wasn't even an
And
argument.
someone did make the argument though, and they literally like proved me right. And it is because we know Cinderpelt more. So, because she has had more time to develop as a character and we care about her more as a character, her death is sadder. Not how it affects anyone. It's literally just because we love her more as a character because we know her better.
We know Feathertail.
That's
The
fair.
last two books, she was all of Midnight and Moonrise. She was a pretty main character the entire time.
Yeah, but Cinderpelt's been a main character in the series, and I think that that one person that I don't want to use names or whatever because group, but um like I like pointed out that that person literally says Cinderpelt is a main character in the entire series versus Feathertail.
I mean, maybe that's for some people. Like for me, like it doesn't really matter that much. It's more so the circumstances of how they died. But we'll argue
Yeah.
that out when we make that video. Um, yeah, so they get to the gathering and they're mentioning like different cats they see. So they mention Crooked Star, Broken Star, Blackfoot, who are all gonna be broken down. It's been a while since we had a breakdown. And then they decide to kind of like split up and they each go their own way to check things out. So where is it? At some point in here, Lionheart says, "We warriors like to spend a little time boasting about our victories while the elders swap tales about the ancient days before the two legs came here. When the two legs came, they drove out SkyClan. But no one knows of SkyClan. So it's like you would think if they're gossiping about the days before the two legs came, they'd be gossiping about SkyClan. But no one knows who SkyClan. No living cat at this moment knows SkyClan except for Sky Watcher, whatever his name is. I don't know. Maybe like they're telling. It almost seems like they forbid cats to tell the stories anymore. So maybe they just still tell the stories, but they leave out SkyClan when they told their kits, so their kits just know those stories and continue it, kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of like, information lost in a game of telephone.
True. Yeah, I was just like, hold up, that doesn't entirely add up.
But I also think that that could have been like a almost like a snide or snarky pass at like, yeah, they're just talking about uninteresting things. Like they're just so old that they remember like all these things. Like,
That's what it's supposed to be because they say they look at him and his whiskers are twitching mischievously, so he is kind of doing it as a snide. But like, yeah, that if it was true, it would mean that they because even later on, Running Nose talks about it too. I don't know how many years have gone by since SkyClan was driven out, but I know it's been a few leaders, so it's not like any of them would remember. I mean, I 100% I know it's because they hadn't thought of SkyClan when they wrote this kind of thing. Like it wasn't a clan yet, but like in book wise, I'm going to think it's more so they were just forbidden to talk about SkyClan again because they're ashamed that they drove them out.
yeah. No, I buy that.
Yeah. And then Tiger Claw's like, don't give anything away that can be used against us once the moon is wane. And Firepaw's like, don't worry, we won't. Firepaw promised hastily, looking into Tiger Claw's eyes. Like, he's so eager to please him. It's sad. Like, even when they all go off their own way, Firepaw follows Tiger Claw. Yeah, he's I'm gonna go see where Tiger Claw went, and then he follows it. Like he wants to make him happy. Greypaw goes after Lionheart, and Ravenpaw goes to hang out with some apprentices.
Yeah, I guess it would be a I want to make you happy instead of a I thought it was to figure out if he could find out why Tiger Claw tested him.
Yeah, he's just a very eager boy. Have I missed anything you noticed so far?
I was actually going to point out, was it all the way back on the first page? Um, oh, where was it? Hey, Meowed Graypaw, did you see Sandpaw spit when I told her I hoped she had a nice evening at home? You bet, Firepaw purred. Like, I had to throw that in.
Yes. Your
Like,
hatred towards Sandstorm, like I'm hoping by Vision of Shadows you feel different because I end up liking her later on. I don't like her
I was gonna
for a while, but after a while she matures.
if if she makes some sort of miraculous change at some point in the series, then maybe my feelings will change towards her. But I have a deep seated hatred for her simply for the fact that she is just a straight up bully for no reason.
It's
And
also
I don't
possible
buy
that I
into
like her
the
more in New Prophecy because she's not as main of a character. But like when she becomes a mom, she calms down a lot. Like I remember hating her in Firestar's Quest because she's rude like the entire time. But we'll see. Like I don't like her. I just don't hate her either. Another thing I was trying to figure out. Graypaw knows who Running Nose is, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's the Shadow Clan medicine cat." In which case, it was just Yellowfang, less than a moon ago. And Graypaw even said that, like he was like, "Oh yeah, I've heard of her," kind of thing. But he knows Running Nose, who is her apprentice, who is the new medicine cat. So I just think it's weird that Graypaw would know of the medicine cat apprentice. I'd get him knowing Yellowfang from like stories in the nursery, but I don't know why he knows Running Nose.
because of the running jokes of his running nose.
That's gotta be it. And he's like, yeah, I could see why they call him Running Nose. The medicine cat's nose was wet at the tip and encrusted around the edges. Which is another cat we'll be doing a breakdown on.
So
Yay.
many.
But then Running
I
Nose
think I just
is
saw another one.
telling a story about how he used some herb that they used in the old days to cure kitten cough. He's like, since the two legs came and filled the place with hard earth and strange flowers, the herb has disappeared and kittens died needlessly in cold weather. For one thing, they barely use the word kitten. It's always kit, so it feels weird to see kitten. I just noticed it. I'm like, that's weird. But I was wondering about that herb because in Dawn of the Clans they find a specific herb that's used to cure sickness. I don't remember exactly how the sickness worked. I feel like it was a stomach ache, but they found the herb in ShadowClan called the Blazing Star. I'm just wondering if that's what he's talking about. If that's the herb that has now died out, because it was a ShadowClan herb. But even then, the fact that it was used to cure kitten cough, I'm assuming that means it's been replaced by catmint, which is something that the two legs brought. So it almost seems like, yeah, like they may have gotten rid of this herb, but catnip or catmint is
Maybe
like the
the other
strongest
herb
coughing
worked
herb.
better.
I mean, maybe it
Maybe the
just
herb
seems like
was
it's
like
like the
almost like
strongest
a
one.
yeah, so but like maybe the one that he's talking about was like a guaranteed cure, whereas cat mint isn't always like, it's not 100% foolproof.
Suppose they normally get better once they get catmint. Like it's almost guaranteed that they'll get it, like be better once they get it, which is why it's always so scarce kind of things. They have to make it scary. But yeah. Um. So they're just kind of like talking and everything about the three old clan or the three what they call them great cats. Yeah, the great cats of Tiger Clan, Lion Clan, and according to Graypaw, Spotty Clan, aka Leopard Clan.
Body clan.
Yep, Spotty Clan. I love it. And I guess it's just like their mythology that they know of lions, tigers, and leopards. Yeah, it's like, you
Oh
can
my.
think leopard clan for your speed and hunting abilities that you possess. Tiger Clan are in love of the sun's warmth. That's it. Oh no, Night Hunters because of Tiger Clan and Lion Clan, the love of the sun's warmth. So yeah, it's just like their mythology, like of like Greek mythology about like, oh yeah, we get the seasons change because of that's when Persephone goes back and forth. Got it's like their mythology of why things are. But I don't think these
I would
clans
have.
are ever really mentioned again either. Like they do like the Great Battle where they call themselves Lion Clan and Tiger Clan, but that's it.
Yeah.
Especially since I don't think, maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to do research. I don't think any of these three are native to the UK. So like I don't know how they know about them. Especially not lions. Cats have traveled a long way to tell them about Body Clan.
I mean, it's just well known.
I guess.
It is known.
Yes. And then there's like this really
Mhm.
tiny Shadow Clan cat who's like asking questions until Lionheart looks at him. He's like, "Wait, how old are you?" And he's like, "I'm 6 moons, but my mom was small too." That is Little Cloud. Little Paw at this moment should be Little Kit. He's only 3 moons old at this point because Broken Star is forcing cats to become apprentices at 3 moons instead of 6.
That's sad.
It is. Anything so far that I've missed?
No, I was actually going to ask you about. See, this is why we just let you model.
You didn't know that was Little. You know who Little Cloud is, right?
I think you've told me in the past, yes.
He becomes Shadow Clan Medicine Cat. He's the one who Cinderpelt heals when him and Whitethroat get sick. But, yeah,
Yeah.
he's a good dude. I like him.
I thought he was older for some reason.
No,
Not
he was.
6 moons, but I didn't realize he was actually 3 moons old.
Yeah, he is a youngin.
It's messed up.
Very
He's a
sad.
baby. Literally.
Indeed. But then we get to Ravenpaw's story about what actually happened, which I know you had theories on this. So I'm just gonna read this whole chunk so that people get the original story from Tiger Claw is that Oakheart killed Redtail in battle, and then Tiger Claw killed Oakheart in revenge. That's what the clans seem to believe right now. So he says fur was flying everywhere, blood splattered the leaves of the bramble bushes, bright red against green. I just fought off a huge warrior and sent him squealing into the bushes. Doubt. When the ground shook, and I heard a warrior scream, so that is the cave collapsing on top of Oakheart. It was Oakheart. Redtail raced past me, his mouth dripping blood and his fur torn. Oakheart is dead, he howled, then he rushed off to help Tiger Claw where he fought another warrior. So this is already causing a problem because they're making it seem like, based on his story, that Redtail killed Oakheart. Because at this point, apparently, Redtail's the one who announced that Oakheart was dead, when really it's supposed to have been the other way around. So that's why, because again, once again, as always, Ravenpaw didn't finish his story, so Firepaw gets the wrong idea and thinks that, because this causes a lot of problems in the next book, or next 2 books, him thinking that Redtail killed Oakheart, and it's not. Oakheart died in an accident where the cave collapsed, and Redtail happened to see it, because they were fighting, but he got out. Yeah. Finally, Redtail dragged the wailing cat off a Tiger Claw by his tail with the strength of the whole of Tiger Clan and flung him into the bushes. And then they were asking him a whole bunch of questions, kind of thing. But Firepaw's listening to this, and he's literally questioning already if Redtail killed Oakheart, then who killed Redtail, kind of thing. Which is the big question. And of course, Tiger Claw's listening to this story, and he is looking both pissed and horrified at the fact that Ravenpaw is telling other cats this because it's supposed to be a big secret. And he's literally telling the truth, but he's not supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be saying Tiger Claw's point of view. But yes, continue.
I was gonna say, in all fairness, this unfinished story is what led me to believe that coupled with Tiger Claw's reaction at the gathering is what led me to believe originally, before I was proven wrong. It's the only time you'll ever hear me say that. Um, that Ravenclaw was injured or Ravenpaw was injured by Tiger Claw. I thought that was why. Was like, you're going to tell this version of the story.
No, because from the Redtail's debt, Ravenpaw had already left, and then Ravenpaw says later on that I think you said it was in Forest of Secrets that he snuck back and he saw that, and he was like, yeah, I'd been injured in the shoulder and I snuck back and saw this happen. But
Yeah.
yeah,
In all fairness, anyone who's reading it through the first time and not having read any further might have thought the same thing. Hmm.
sure. uh, so the gathering has begun, and everyone's like, hey, where's Wind Clan? We can't start yet. And I like the fact that they have so far described Birkenstar already as like his broad, flat face, and now with his orange eyes, they're definitely like giving little hints that he is Yellowfang's son. Broad, flat face, Yellowfang. Orange eyes, Yellowfang. Like it, they are things that are like so far I don't think we've seen a single other cat with orange eyes, but they're very specific descriptions that have only been used about Yellowfang. I feel like as an adult, I may have been able to figure it out. Definitely not as a kid. I was shocked by like, oh my gosh, what? But I feel like now reading it, I would have like picked up on these details, but like, wait, and Yellowfin like has problems with kits. It's but like I think I may have been able to at least theorize that he was her son.
Oh, absolutely. I think maybe even as like a young adult reader, instead of like when we started reading these originally, we were what, in middle school? Like
I think I was in fifth grade
6th
technically
grade?
when I got the first three,
Yeah.
and then
I
I
didn't meet you until
introduced you in middle school. Yeah,
yeah.
I believe during gym when you first got there and you had to walk or run laps around. So I think that was the only class we had together at first.
Then we had reading class together.
I'm pretty sure that was eighth grade. Didn't we meet seventh grade?
6th.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
Our lore, guys. But yeah. So Broken Star starts the meeting, and a thing I've noticed about him, he uses kits in his argument constantly. Like he's the reason that they need more clan or more territory because our kits are strong and we have too many of them and you don't want our kits to starve, do you? Like and later on when he's like saying like keep an eye out for Yellowfang, it's because she's gonna hurt your kits. Like he uses kits as an excuse constantly. I mean, it works, like, because it gets the queens frenzied kind of thing. Like, but like it'd be like if we were to be like, hey, I don't know, that this dog bites kids, bites children. People are going to react more than if you're just like, yeah, he's kind of a mean dog.
Yeah.
So he knows how to
Yeah.
work the crowd. Um, and apparently, because he's like, yeah, all of you have to let us hunt in your territory. That's the only way Shadow Clan will survive. Because while you guys are weak and all dying out, we are the strongest, and one of the clans has to be strong. And he says he admits that, Wind Clan failed to understand this, which is why we drove them out, and that apparently River Clan has already agreed to this, to let them hunt in the or fish in the river, like that borders their territory. I'm like, huh. Crooked Star was willing to fight nonstop to get Sunning Rocks from ThunderClan, but just rolls over and gives away territory to Broken Star.
Maybe he thinks that ThunderClan's weaker.
I mean, probably. I guess everyone's scared of Shadow Clan at this point. It's like, come on, Crooked Star, do something. And then, yeah, he does say that ThunderClan hasn't agreed to anything. And then he's like, oh, yeah, by the way, you have to keep out an eye for a Shadow Clan cat has turned rogue and spurned the warrior code. We chased her off out of our camp, but we have no idea where she is. She looks a mangy old creature, but she has a bite like Tiger Clan. And he says, for the safety of your kits. She is dangerous. I warn you, do not offer shelter to her. And until she is caught and killed, I urge you to keep a close eye on your kits. So, because of Yellowfang snapping at the kit before, is kind of why ThunderClan is already like, oh my gosh, like this is a problem. But he is talking about Yellowfang, his mom. Probably he wants her killed because she knows the truth about him like breaking the warrior code and killing kits and everything. So he wants her killed for that reason. Because besides that, she's really not much of a threat to him.
Well, argue. I mean, she actually is, but
Yes, but he doesn't think of her as a threat.
yeah. I mean, I kind of thought that it was because maybe just maybe he was smart enough to put two and two together and realize that's his mom.
He is absolutely baffled when he finds out. He doesn't believe her. So,
Eh,
yeah. But
it's
yeah,
sad.
he calls the gathering to an end without any other leader talking. And ThunderClan's like, "Oh my gosh, we got to get back. Like Yellowfang, we left her there with the kids undefended." But Firepaw's like, "You know what? No. There's no way Yellowfang would do this." So he runs ahead to go warn her, cuz he's a loyal boy to Yellowfang.
I think he's.
He trusts his
Oh
judgment.
well. I was gonna say he's loyal to his instincts. I can't say to the warrior code because
Yeah, to his instincts, he believes he is correct. Which I mean,
I think
this is another thing that Lionheart again follow your instincts, like they often prove you right or something like that. He's doing it again. He's listening to Lionheart and he's trusting his instincts.
for the most part they're pretty spot on, like always. I
Yeah,
think.
he normally has some really good judgment.
Yeah.
But before we get to the giant breakdown of cats, do you have any other notes?
Trying to see. I think we went over everything basically. Just kind of breezed over some of it. Um I keyed in less on the kits and more on the he wasn't asking anybody anything. He was just straight up telling everybody, you must.
Yep.
It wasn't even a like the questions he was asking, like he didn't like from a public speaking side of things, like he didn't actually care what your answer was. Like, do you want to see our kids starve? Like, I don't care what your answer is. You're gonna do this or I'm gonna make you do it.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
But
this is
this is
how it's
me
gonna
trying
be.
to like I like the fact that his character is like that like trying to be a master manipulator, but he does have like a very like narcissistic manipulative sort of a way about him.
Yeah, definitely not as good as like some of the other villains. Like later on, legit manipulative, like where you feel like maybe they're my friend, I can trust them, and then they like backstab you kind of thing. Whereas he's just
Ashfur.
mostly Darktail, but nothing about or yeah no Bashford just comes off as a he's literally a psychopath, but like not even exaggerating, he is a psychopath, but yeah it just like even Tiger Star is pretty good at like he gives the other clans not that he's not going to do it anyways, but he comes off as giving them a choice kind of thing. And trying he makes it seem like he's trying to do things fair. Like he comes off in a way that you're like, maybe he has a point versus just being told what to do.
Yeah, I mean, I do think like his is like probably like better disguise, like his like intentions are better disguised, might be a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, our broken boy don't care.
Nope. But yeah, did you have anything else? Okay. Well, our first named cat was Crooked Star, when who was born as Storm Kit until he broke his jaw, and then his mother insisted on him being renamed as Crooked Paw. And then his
Is his
warrior,
mother
his
in the
name was
Dark
Crooked Jaw.
Forest?
No, actually, and she's another one I would argue should be there. But his mother was Rainflower, and his father is Shellheart. His brother is Oakheart. His mate is Willow Breeze, and his daughters are Silverstream, Willow Kit, and Minnow Kit. He technically trained in the Dark Forest, but he wasn't fully aware of it because Mapleshade convinced him that she was a Starclan cat trying to help him. He didn't know that what he was training as, kind of thing, until he sees Thistleclaw there learning how to do a death bite, and then he's like, "Nope, I'm done with this." So he does leave pretty much as soon as he learns what it really is about. Not that he went to the Dark Forest, but he was training in the Dark Forest, kind of thing.
I'll pick my jaw up off the ground.
Yes. And his great grandfather is Apple Dusk, who is Mapleshade's ex mate that had
Yep.
kits with another cat, and that's
Mhm.
she's pretty much cursed his entire family tree. That's why she's training him because she's trying to pretty much on every cat born of Apple Dusk, she's trying to punish for what Apple Dusk did to her, evidently. Which is why Minnow Kit and Willow Kit die and Willow Breeze dies and Shellheart, like everyone around him dies. Even Silverstream dies. And then he gets Feathertail, who dies. It's a very sad time. It looked like you
Don't
had
be
something to
friends with
say.
him.
But yeah, do
Yeah,
not. He is cursed. He's
I was gonna
literally
say like
cursed.
that's really sad because like you know his brother dies and
Oh yeah, and his brother
his
died.
daughter
Yep.
dies. It's like, wait a second, there's other siblings. Oh, they must have died.
Yep. So many cats die. It's actually really sad because I forgot how his mate died, but she died right after the kits were born. So he's literally like after his other two daughters die, he's just it like curled around them kind of thing, like trying to keep them warm and everything, and two of them die in their sleep, and it's sad. Crooked
Terrible.
Star is a good dude. Then we have
True.
Broken Star, who is the son of Yellowfang and Ragged Star. His sisters are Hope Kit and Wish Kit. His mentor was Nightpelt, which I didn't realize, because Nightpelt's like the next leader. He's a pretty good dude. Um, he was named Broken Kit for how Yellowfang's heart felt about leaving him, but because his tail's crooked, she thought people would assume it's because of his tail. He has kitty pet blood through his grandfather Hal. His greatest fear is a lack of respect from other cats, which kind of goes back to what you were saying. Like, he's demanding respect from all these cats, kind of thing. No, they
Mhm.
don't respect him, but he is demanding it. Both times he was killed, living and spirit death were by Yellowfang. So like even when he's in the Dark Forest, she kills him again, which is kind of great. He lied and said that Ragged Star was killed by a Wind Clan patrol, which is how he justifies driving out Wind Clan. He's like, "Oh, they killed Ragged Star, blah blah blah,"
Uh,
but he killed Ragged Star, so yeah. And outside of battle, he does not like to be touched. So he won't share tongues or anything with other cats. He's just, nope. Probably why he's always described as having like matted, ragged fur and everything.
why he looks mangy.
Yep. Um, then we have Blackfoot, who is the son of
Yes.
Hollyflower and Blizzardwing. His sister's Fernshade, his brother's Flintwing, his half sister is Dawncloud, who is also his apprentice. There's a big continuity problem going on in here because they didn't think this through when they wrote his story. His half brothers are Mosspaw and Woolwhisper, but at the end of this book, Dawncloud, who apparently was his apprentice and his sister, is an elder. So like, because she's one of the elders that helps Yellowfang and all of them take over the camp. So they just didn't think it through. Like it is a there is a timing error there. He's possibly related to Spiderpaw, who is Spider Space Paw, meaning he's one of the ancient cats. But he's I believe the son of Mothblight, who's the original medicine cat, and he's another six-toed cat. So that's why they think there might be some sort of relation in there.
Oh,
He was made deputy twice, once now by Broken Star, and then later on Tiger Star makes him his deputy also. Because he leaves with Broken Star when they're driven out. And then there was a contest where the authors asked fans which novella they would rather have, and it was between him, Cinderpelt, Gorestar, and Needletail, and he won. Kind of slightly disproves your theory about Cinderpelt. We spend more time with her than Blackstar, but Gorestar is the second leader of Wind Clan after Windstar, and Needletail is a Shadow Clan cat who's pretty important during Vision of Shadows.
I'd be interested to know why people.
Most people hate Dawn of the Clans. They also hate Vision of Shadows, so that makes sense. And maybe they were just kind of fed up with Cinderpelt stuff by that point because there's so much about her.
Perhaps.
Um, then we have Running Nose. He is the son of Lizard Stripe and Mudclaw, not Wind Clan Mudclaw. There's two cats named Mudclaw.
I was very ask.
Lizard Stripe is apparently a horrible mother. She's also the one who fostered Broken Kit, but like she's literally like I forgot the exact quote, but she says something about like Ragstar's like, oh yeah, you're should feel blessed about like carrying kits or something like that, and she's like, blessed? If that's the case, then why can't Mudclaw carry these brats or something like that? Like she calls her own kits brats. So kind of might give you a hint as to why Broken Kit ended up like that. His sister is Tanglebur, and his brother is Deerfoot. And he was given his name as a reminder that medicine cats can't cure everything. Because his nose is always running. Which I think is kind of funny because that means Yellowfang would have named him Running Nose. Because like the medicine cats are the ones who give you your official warrior name if you're a medicine cat apprentice. So yeah. When Nightstar was sick, he was the acting deputy. Him and Sneeze Cloud are the only known cats named after their sickness. Sneeze Cloud, such a cute name. And it's assumed
It's
that he died
disgusting.
of his cold.
What?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Poor Running Nose. He's just like the butt of the jokes. And then we have Little Paw. At this point, it should be Little Kit, but Little Paw. All we know is that his mom is Newt Speck. Don't know who his dad is. His brothers are Wetfoot and Brown Paw. His mentor when he was training to be a warrior was Clawface, and then he switched to a medicine cat and it became Running Nose. His only apprentice was Flametail, who dies. So that's why when Puddle Shine becomes Medicine Cat, it's because Little Cloud died, and they didn't have Medicine Cat. So Leafpool had to go to Shadow Clan to train Puddle Shine to be a Medicine Cat. And it is confirmed that he only thought of Cinderpelt as a sister. He did not have a crush on her. But those are the breakdown.
What's up with all the lizard names?
Lizard Stripe and Newt Speck.
Yeah.
I mean, don't forget that one of the main POVs of our series is Newt Paw.
True.
Mm-hmm. Newt Paw of
Also,
the
did you
Lichen
say
Clan.
Flint? Something Flint Pelt?
When?
Second cat in, I think. Like Flint. Like a
Blackfoot's
sibling.
brother is Flintwing.
Flint wing.
Yes. Like Flint and
Is a
Stone.
flint a type of bird, or are they talking about like flint, like what you use to start a fire?
I'm assuming what used to start a fire.
How does a cat know what that is?
You really gonna question these things? How do they know what anything is? It's not like they could speak human.
It is, I guess, technically a rock.
Yes.
Like
Perfect.
an actual like
Yeah, I've seen when people
rock.
do it, they use like 2 rocks to. Like, just think Minecraft. Oh, that's flint and steel, but yeah.
So I thought flint was a highly processed item.
Negative.
But no, it's a form of quartz. So if anyone else didn't know that, also if you didn't know that a newt is a kind of a type of lizard, you could use the two.
You're going to
Yeah.
use a flint and a lizard? You're gonna light the lizard on fire? What are you saying? You can use the two.
Not no.
I
Newt
mean,
and
lizards are
lizard.
flammable, but that's animal abuse.
I didn't say I was gonna light a snake on fire.
They're lizards, not snakes.
I know, but like if you've never heard the old wives' tale, if you set a snake on fire, its legs will come out.
Oh, no, I have not. I've heard the whole thing about, like, if you drop a snake in a fire, it bites you. Or some guy saw a snake stuck in a fire and went to try to save the snake and it bit him. So he was bleeding and everything, but he reached in again and got the snake out. And they're like, "Oh, why'd you save it? It bit you." He's like, "Oh, well, it's in the snake's nature to bite, but it's in my nature to help anyways," kind of thing. I'm like, "Oh, it's a cute little story."
Yeah,
Life lessons.
great life
Unlike a
lessons.
snake, which should be don't bite the hand that tries to save your life.
So why do you think that nobody decided to interrupt the gathering? Like any of the leaders and just be like, "Hey, so not kosher, not cool, not doing it."
Shocked, I would guess.
Mainly Blue Star, like what
I'm surprised
where were you the entire
Starclan didn't
chapter, ma'am?
like do anything. Like they didn't send a sign or anything. Like, "Oh, we disapprove of this." Like they'll send like clouds over the moon kind of thing, but they didn't that time.
So did they approve? It's terrifying.
So I would say, because Crooked Star already agreed to Broken Star, Blue Star at this point is kind of outnumbered, and that's why she's not saying anything. Because she did say she would talk it out with her clan. Like, we all know they're gonna say no. But that's my guess. Because if she actively is like, no, then she's gonna have. She is dooming her clan to be attacked without at least discussing it with her clan. Like, she wants to at least get their insight before refusing.
Maybe.
My guess, not totally sure. I don't know.
I
Can't get in the
just
mind of a blue star. She's a weird one.
was sorry, a bit unhinged.
Yeah. We were all unhinged. Except Clear Sky.
Firestar.
Oh yeah, he's like perfect, so he's not unhinged.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't be unhinged
Of
ever.
course not. Never ever.
And Yellowfang.
Uh, uh, I won't answer that.
She's not.
Of course not.
She's not.
Not yet. She is in Power 3.
I mean the alive Yellowfang, not the
Spirit Yellow Thing.
yeah. Is that what spectral Yellowfang?
Yes. Ugh.
The one no one likes, apparently.
No one likes her. She explains why
So
I
sad.
don't think she's in Broken Code at all, which to be fair, like none of StarClan is. I mean, that's the whole point. Like they can't get in touch with StarClan. It just asked for her there. But like even at the end, she's not one of the ones that like I don't think they even see her when they go into StarClan after they save them. So it's interesting. Clearly she self-banished herself.
It's probably for the best based on what I've seen on Reddit. So,
Probably. But did you
ooh,
have
buddy.
any closing notes?
What do we want to know?
I mean,
I
I
know
gave
what
them like
I'm like.
5 theories to think about.
Well, we could discuss theories in the comments, but I genuinely am curious. If you were a member of ThunderClan sitting through that gathering, what would your reaction have been?
Probably like Tiger Star or Tiger Claw. It's like, what do you say? What do you mean? Like, I'd be on his side. I'd be mad.
I'd have probably jumped him. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
there is no. You're not gonna tell me I must do something. I will not. Thank you.
like you must take a bath, stinky cat, since you don't groom. Ugh,
It's the
Stinky Star.
smushed face.
Yeah, he's a
There we
creepy looking
go. That
cat, but yeah. But yeah,
no creepier than Yellowfang.
they're both creepy. I think I think that's all. It's the first time in a while that we've passed an hour.
Ooh.
Yeah. Me blast to edit. But yep, I think that is all. Let us know in the comments what you think of all of my theories. I need in detail about each and every one. And how you would react as a ThunderClan cat being told that. Or realistically any clan cat. Even more, how would you feel as a River Clan cat who just heard that your leader gave away territory without like even trying to fight for it or ask discuss it with you or anything? Seems like a slap in Oakhart's face, who is killed defending his territory. Which maybe that's why he gives it away, though, now that I think about it, because he lost his brother. What in the world? Sorry, that scared me. My other computer turned on. He lost his brother died on the last skirmish, and maybe he's trying to not lose more cats in like border skirmishes.
Which would make next. That really did like totally distract me. My mind is like elsewhere now.
My computer turning
That would
on.
also make what happens. Yes,
I saw
that
the
would make what
reflection,
happens.
like I'm like, wait, what is that? And then it made a noise, and it scared me. But
I didn't hear the noise. I just saw the reflection. It's
I just
like,
heard
oh, that was
doo
weird.
doo. I'm like, what the hell was that? But yeah. Yeah, so let us know about either any of those things, and
Yeah, really.
yeah, many things to discuss from this chapter. All
And
right.
many more to come.
Yes, very true. All right, guys. Well,
Turn back on.
thank you for watching, and the ghost is gone. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
In the next one.
Bye byes.